So y'all need to come at me correct with your arguments because you just sound like you got them cheese curds in your ears, the ones that Charlie keeps talking about. Listen to me. I don't need to lie because it's just YouTube, guys. It's not that serious. It's not. Because there's a lot about me and Charlie Code you all don't know. Okay? She's not just some stranger on the internet. Okay? I've never met her in person, but she's a lot closer than you think. So we'll get to that shortly. Let me tell you all a secret about Charlie Gold. Charlie Gold lives 2 miles from me. Yeah. Hi, neighbor. How you doing, Goal? She lives 2 miles from me, and I know where she lives. I'll tell you why. Let's talk about Tampa. Let's talk about Tampa first. Who wants to talk about Tampa? Who wants to talk about Tampa? You want to talk about Tampa, Florida? Okay, we're going to talk about Tampa, Florida. No, I'm not going to dox her the way her people. I have no proof. But I mean, the hate mob came after me hard today. Just remember though, Charlie, as your people are doxing me.
I have no proof.
Just remember. Remember things. You're not some stranger 55 states away. I know there's only 50. Shut up. You're apparently my friend's neighbor. I would have told you that sooner, but I didn't like you. So when she told me this, I was like, I ain't going to tell her. I don't want to meet her. I'm good. Just rein your mob in. Because I can handle a lot. And I will always come out with my guns blazing. Because it's just YouTube, guys. It's not that serious. It's not. And just the fact that I have awesome subscribers who would never troll nasty, disgusting things the way they did the last 24 hours. We'll get to that shortly. She was screaming into the camera, just screaming, just losing it. And I was just like, just shocking to me. It's maybe 2-3 weeks ago. See, I get all crazy at how I even have to do this because these women have to manufacture such hatred against anybody who goes against them. Okay? They are disgusting. Yeah, my chat's getting as toxic as Twitter. No, Michael Wiener, I'm defending myself against the Charlie Gold mob, something nobody's ever done before, and it's about time. And I purposely said I will never be like this woman. Shut up. That's it. Shut up. That's all you can say to these stupid people is shut up. It's so ridiculous. What if I was a disrespectful 30-something-year-old failure? Stop talking to me like I'm Charlie Gold. I am almost 40 into success. You have so much to say when it's Foodie Beauty. You have so much to say when it's Amberlynn Reed. You have so much to say when it's Shakara Transformations. But you had nothing to say about me, you cowardly bitch. Yes, because it's just YouTube, guys. It's not that serious. It's not. You need to get yourself some help. Look at yourself. Figure yourself out. Go back to your community where you belong. Stay there. Stay out of the gaining ground. We don't want you here. Because it's just YouTube, guys. It's not that serious. It's not.
See, my mugshots weren't a problem when you wanted advice. They weren't a problem when you wanted me to mod on your channel. They weren't a problem when you wanted a collab. Or you're a snake. You thought this whole time, but you were willing to put your feelings aside to get ahead on YouTube because I have this platform. Another thing that you sat on your public platform to thousands of people and lied about and said, I had a GoFundMe scam to go to Hawaii. I went and came back bigger. Let's address that GoFundMe. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, my name is Charlie. Please consider subbing before you exit this video. Now in today's video, I do want to address a few things and then move forward. Now for those who didn't notice, around early May I stopped uploading to YouTube. I didn't give a reason why, I just wanted to deal with my personal life and try to get through it the best way I could. But I want to revisit early May to make sure I address something specific. In early May, I had tweeted out something regarding Shakara Transformations. In that tweet, I was being petty, but I know I also crossed the line. Unfortunately, in that tweet, a lot of people took it as though I was threatening Shakara Transformations by saying drag. That wasn't my intent, and for that, if Shakara took it that way, or if any of my viewers took it that way, I definitely apologize. Because it sounded like to people I was threatening her while calling her names as well. Am I someone who calls names from time to time? Absolutely. Can my pettiness cross the line? Sometimes, absolutely. So for that tweet specifically, especially if it came off like a threat, I definitely apologize to Shakara Transformations. That was not it. The term drag is something that's used common. I've used it with Chantel, I've used it with other people. However, I see that some people misinterpret it for literally dragging the person physically. When I use the term drag, that's actually not the intent. I will use it later on, I'm sure, in some way, in some fashion, in other videos. Hopefully when I say it verbally, it will make more sense versus when I tweeted it. I think a lot of people just took it as a threat and name calling. So for that specific tweet, Shakara Transformations, I apologize, and to my viewers, I apologize, because that was messy and it was pettiness that did cross the line. Now, to the person that set all of this off, the Gaining Ground. Now, a few weeks back, the Gaining Ground started to tweet about merch from another creator. He was unhappy with it. It was his opinion. That's his opinion. For me, when I saw the merch, I laughed and I kept it pushing. Would I do it personally? No. But at the same time, would that content creator use their mugshot on merch? Probably not. So maybe we just are different in that way, which is fine. I support that creator. I like that creator's content. If that merch wasn't for some people, they have every right to voice it, as he did. Where things started to go downhill is when he was upset that the bigger channels were not speaking on it. I don't think he fully understood that maybe we didn't care enough to speak on it. It's someone's merch. If you don't like it, speak on it, but don't expect other people to speak on it as well. From that point, it escalated very quickly, where the focus became me and only me for the most part. He was going back and forth with other Twitter users, he was going back and forth with other creators, but no matter the conversation, it always got back to me. I was sitting back watching most of it, and at some point I muted him because I was really confused, especially when people started DMing me asking me what I did to him, because that behavior was out of character. Anyone who follows the Gaining Ground knows he's just a jokester. He's just someone who likes to have a good time. He doesn't take things too seriously. He doesn't get involved in drama. So when I started seeing this happen, I DM'd him privately because it seemed as though this was something he was very passionate about, the fact that other creators weren't speaking on it. So I DM'd him to let him know, like, there are a lot of conversations that happen privately, and truly, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Who am I to tell this girl, you know, who essentially does the same thing as me, how to monetize her channel? That doesn't make sense to me. And also, I don't care. If I cared enough, because I do like this creator, I would have just DM'd them. I would have talked to them privately, just like other creators have done with me. Then that escalated because instead of engaging with him and instead of him responding to me in the DMs, he wanted this public display. He wanted it really bad. So then he started to continue to go on, using parts of my docs to try to bait me into an argument. And instead of responding to him, I chose to like whatever tweets that I wanted and retweet whatever tweets that I wanted. There's a specific tweet that ended up setting him off, and he claims the tweet called him a racist. I've seriously had it. It's one thing to make playful jabs at each other, stupid memes of the girls, but doxing kids, excusing doxing kids, making a series of potentially racially loaded insults, and then suicide baiting after, picking fights for nearly a week straight, nah. It was racially loaded, it was racially insensitive, and it was extremely ignorant. He later on went on his live stream to explain it, saying that I live next to a KFC or a Chick-fil-A.
Charlie, that area, literally right behind a Chick-fil-A. Girl, you know which intersection I'm talking about. As a KFC up the road.
No, I don't. I'm not even in walking distance of them. And just to add context to what walking distance is to me, a few days out of the week, I do walk a minimum of 3 miles. I wouldn't even be able to reach a Chick-fil-A or a KFC within that walk. So either his friend lied to him or he lied to you. That lie, I can't necessarily put on him because it could have been his friend lying to him, because I've lived in this neighborhood since 2017. There has not been a Chick-fil-A or a KFC in this neighborhood whatsoever. But let's focus on another lie that he decided to tell on his platform. Callie had tweeted out a screen grab from his public Periscope account. It's a social media account. It is public. I viewed it myself. He tried to connect that video to his docs that was later tweeted out. If you're going to accuse Callie or myself with being involved with your docs, you need to show proof. Not only did I not dox you or get involved in doxing you, neither did Callie. If you are sticking to the video clip that she tweeted out, trying to say that must be the reason you got doxxed later on, that's incorrect. I'm the one who gave her that clip because I know she'd be working on a video. I gave her that clip. I had that clip for a couple of days before I shared it. It's a public social media account. And unlike you, who tweeted out, don't engage, document, I took that advice. I started documenting. That was not a dox. That's not even part of your dox. That was on a social media platform that you forgot to wipe out. And in that clip, you tried to excuse it away, saying that's from 4 years ago. It's actually from 2 years ago. Since then, you've deleted it, of course. However, someone has already uploaded it to YouTube. No, it's not me. No, I don't know the person. But as I've said before, the internet is forever. And then you went on to say that you were impersonating a French accent because the person who commented said bonjour.
Did videos of mine on Periscope from 4 years ago. Forgot I even had a Periscope account. It's a stupid app. It's like Facebook Live. But you can go live anytime you want on Periscope. It was Christmas 2017, I think. I was speaking to a gentleman in France. Oh, thanks, Big Love. Oh, by the way, well, we'll talk about that later. I was speaking to a gentleman in France who loved my live on Periscope, having a good time. And I said, bonjour, How about you tell your girl to stop doxing me, to stop sharing private videos from 4 years ago on Christmas night when I was speaking to somebody in France who in the chat room said, I love the way you do my accents. I mean,
that's not true. They said bonjour, and you went on to say if someone Asian was to say that, this is how they would say it.
Whose hands smell like look like cheese? Your bonjour. No, if it was Chinese, I'd be like, bonjour! Bonjour! What's happening?
What's happening?
Elena, what's happening? Wait, I don't understand. How do hands are like mozzarella cheese?
I'm not sure why you would blatantly lie about this video clip, but it also shows a pattern of when you are in the wrong, whether it's intentional or not, you rather lie your way out of it. Just like with that clip, I don't believe him mocking that Asian accent was in malice. I don't. I believe he was having a good time with friends. He wasn't thinking, and he did that. Was it racially insensitive? Absolutely. Was it with malice? I don't believe so. I don't think so. I think he was having a good time with friends, and he didn't think it through. In my case, this man had been going on and on and on for hours on Twitter trying to bait me in any way, any comment that he think I'll respond to, which is why he kept calling me a coward. But then I retweet something and oh my God, look at what Charlie did to me. Let me tell you what Charlie did to me. What did I do? Honestly, what did I do? Then he went on to say he's had a problem with me for a long time. He hasn't liked my content. He doesn't like the name calling. He doesn't like the way I speak about the other creators I speak on. That's where I started to get confused. I understand that a lot of people may have that opinion, but the gaining ground was not one of them. Let's go back a little bit. At the end of February, that's when my Pig Mad video on Chantel was posted. In early March 8th specifically, I did a live stream where I also dragged Chantel. Rightfully so, because she was so desperate for support, she would take it from someone who was racist and homophobic. So I dragged Chantel through that live stream. It doesn't matter that the Fatty Gold channel's gone. This will stay with you for a long time, Chantel. A long time. And she keeps saying, I'm not racist. You guys know I'm not racist. And she always looks to the side. I want to make something very clear. If you think you getting dicked down by an African for a few months or a few years, let me phrase that, means you're not racist, you're dumb as fuck. That means nothing. Let's be clear. If you thinking you getting dicked down by an African means you're not racist, you're just stupid. And you need to stop speaking. Because she kept saying, like, you guys know, you guys know. We know what? Because you get dicked down by Black men, that you're not racist? Is that what you think? Is that what you think qualifies you to not be racist? And then you have the nerve to say that Callie looks like she has Dollar Tree wigs. Bitch, you could never. That wig was hideous. That wig looks like BB put it together spitefully and told you it looked good. Like, I bet you BB told you look good, didn't you? Didn't he? He told you look good. That's why you made the Dollar Tree wig comment, because you thought you looked good. Have you seen what you look like with a wig comment? Are you sure you want to go there? You put shoe polish on your scalp to fill in the bald spots. That live stream was not kind to Chantel. That live stream was me still giving my opinion on Chantel and many things. And that evening, after that live stream, I received an email from the same email that's listed in the Gaining Ground description box in every single video. I didn't notice the email in that moment because I tend to check my business email like once a month. However, later on, I did see the email. Greetings, Charlie. Your live stream gave me life today. You should go live more often. Your idea of paying for training/nutrition for some of your subs is amazing. You're really giving back to your supporters and it's awesome. I've mentioned before I'm right over in his city. If you're ever interested in a collab or you need help with that giveaway, let me know. Outside of reactions, we are both on the same journey. Hope to hear from you. Much love. That's not an email that I would receive from someone who doesn't like what I've been saying, who's had an issue with me for some time. That was on March 8th. I didn't see it, so obviously I didn't respond right away. I didn't respond at all, and I'll explain why later. On March 9th, the next day, I received a DM from the Gaining Ground on Instagram. Now, anyone who's DM'd me knows I'm really slow to reply, especially when it comes to Instagram. So when he messaged me on Instagram, I didn't see it until the following month. So my Pig Mad video was end of February. March 8th, I did my live stream. That evening of March 8th, he emailed me. March 9th, he DM'd me on Instagram. Charlie, I implied that your girl Chantel is a stupid bitch in my latest video. Can she get me banned for that? LOL. Now again, I didn't notice that, so I never replied. I didn't notice it until end of April. Now I must have dropped by one of his live streams because on April 5th, he emailed me again. Thank you for the support for stopping in today. I had too much champagne and too many technical difficulties, and I hope it wasn't too much of a train wreck. Oh well, it is what it is. Happy Sunday, the Gigi. On April 12th, without getting a response yet to his initial DM, he did DM me again on Instagram. Hey, are you okay with being a moderator? I like to ask first. Hope you enjoyed the live. I must have stopped into another live chat, and again, I didn't see these DMs. When I finally saw these DMs, I replied. On April 29th, I replied, I should have told you I'm horrible with IG DMs. As far as your first question, if I'm not banned, I doubt anyone else is getting banned. And then I added emojis. On April 30th, he responded, yeah, haha, I was still so fresh and innocent when I sent those. And then I responded, makes sense. We both hearted each other's comments. So that was at the very end of April. Fast forward to the beginning of May. Prior to me sending out the tweet that I did about Shakara's transformation, I was already speaking privately with Callie. I believe we both received the same type of screenshots. I was sharing my opinions about Shakara, and unfortunately someone did screenshot and sent the Gaining Grounds comment as well. I received the same screenshot. I thought nothing of it. This is someone who likes to have a good time. He said he doesn't like the drama. He enjoys all types of different things on this platform. He doesn't take it too seriously. That's why he doesn't care about the binging and all those and the cycles and everything like that. So that was in the back of my mind when I saw the screenshot of him in that comment section. It made sense because he doesn't take any of this seriously, so it shouldn't matter. That's what I was defending to Callie privately. When she saw the Gaining Ground in it, of course her feelings were hurt because the video was about her, so it looked as though that they were laughing along with the creator at her. What I chose to do, which part of it was selfish, I chose to defend him to her and explained his style because I don't think she was familiar with his content. I explained to her, listen, he's not about the drama. It actually makes sense. He would be in that comment section because he doesn't take anything seriously. He's just here to have a good time. He doesn't even care about this, and that. So I explained it to her. Unfortunately, I kept defending him for so long. It did hurt Callie. And I understand now, I understood that day when she explained it to me, why it hurt her. That video was made about Callie while Callie was defending me. And here she is hurt, and I'm defending another creator that I technically didn't know. I was just a fan of. And I didn't want her to have a problem with him. I didn't want her to dislike him. And one of the reasons I really didn't want her to dislike him is because I knew later on he'd be on my channel. Even though I didn't respond to the collab email, when I saw it, I had already spoken to my trainer. I spoken to her. I said, listen, this guy is really funny. You know, when it comes to these type of topics, I can get emotional. I think he would actually be a good balance. I never replied to him because I was respecting his time. My trainer and I still had a lot of footwork to do when it came to the project, so I didn't want to respond to him and have him wasting his time or just sitting there in limbo. So I wanted to respond to him when we were closer to starting the project, to then bring him in and then talk about what we think he could bring to the whole series. So yes, I was genuinely defending him because I really did believe like he's just here to have a good time, and it kind of makes sense that he would be in anyone's comment section. He just doesn't take anything too seriously. But also, if I'm being honest, part of it was me being selfish because I didn't want her to dislike a creator that's probably about to have a lot of time on my channel. I didn't want that tension because Callie's my friend and I'm a fan of this guy. At the time I was. So when I tweeted out what I tweeted and then she retweeted it and added the Gaining Grounds comment, I was genuinely in shock because I just spent so much time defending him to her, trying to have her see a different side of him. But I think she was so hurt, and rightfully so. The idea that I send people to do things or I have control over people is laughable. If I had control over people, that tweet about the Gaining Ground would have never gone out because privately, I was actually defending him probably longer than I should have. The minute I saw that tweet, I DM'd the Gaining Ground on Twitter to try to explain to him my issue wasn't with him because you can see from her tweet, my tweet is below that. So I wanted to explain to him, my issue wasn't with you, it's with Shakar Transformations. I apologize if this, drags you into it, because it does drag him into it. And then it looks as though I could have possibly agreed with that statement. Granted, now I definitely agree with it. I feel stupid because Callie was trying to show me a different side to things and I just didn't see it because I enjoyed this content creator. I was a fan, so anything she was saying, I didn't hear it. And at one point during the conversation, she did, my friend, point out my own hypocrisy. Because when it was Chantel entertaining certain channels, I was so upset. But this person that I like so much, I'm defending him for a long time. And that's why when people say you're a hypocrite, yes, I am a hypocrite. Because bias exists. When you're biased to someone or something, it can lead to hypocrisy. Because if that was Chantel, I would have had something completely different to say. But because it was a creator that I enjoyed, I was a fan of, and I'm going to collab with, I'm making excuses, but also I'm going off of his past behavior. This is someone who just likes having a good time. That's what I thought in that moment. So when I DM'd him, it was a great conversation. We ended up talking about tacos and we moved on. 3 weeks later, this started. That's where my confusion has been this whole time. There's never been an exchange that we had that was negative. And if these were his feelings this whole time, that the language that I use, I'm vile, I talk down on these people, I'm this horrible person, I'm not an altar boy without mugshots.
And unfortunately for her, I'm an altar boy. I pay my rent. I pay both my mortgages, 2 mortgages, correct. I pay my car bills. I pay my insurance. Never been arrested.
See, my mugshots weren't a problem when you wanted advice. They weren't a problem when you wanted me to mod on your channel. They weren't a problem when you wanted a collab. So all these things that you've been throwing out there to bait me into having an online feud, they were never a problem. And that's where I was sitting back looking at this. I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. That's where my confusion came in. If you felt that way, you have every right. Anyone viewing this, you have every right to dislike my content, to dislike the things that I say. You are not obligated to support me. No one is. Any support that I've been given, it's appreciated. It's not owed. I'm no one to sit here and think I'm owed something. Either whether it be a friend, whether it be support, whether it be a view. Where I was confused is this grown man who has come to me several times to benefit off my platform, which I feel is fine. I want other creators. If my channel could be a sounding board for creators, I'm fine with that. That's why I have the description box the way I do. But you shouldn't turn around because you weren't getting the responses that you wanted and now jump on something else to get the views that you wanted. When you thought my channel was beneficial to you, your opinion weren't these things. But the minute you didn't get the response that you wanted, then I became a vile person. I'm not asking a vile person for advice. I'm not asking a vile person for a collab. You won't even be a mod on my channel. Granted, if someone I didn't enjoy for whatever reason shouted me out, I would thank them. I would thank them shortly and then move on. I'm not DMing them. I'm not emailing them multiple times. I am definitely not collabing with them. So while I'm watching all this for weeks, that's what I've been sitting on. That's what I've been so confused about. He never added that context to the conversation. You feel I'm a vile person. You feel the language I use is horrible. You didn't feel that way when you thought I was a benefit to you. So at what point did you start to feel that way? Because he made it seem as though he's felt like this for some time. I read the dates of our exchanges. So either you are blatantly lying to your audience because you feel this is something you can run with, this opinion is something that might actually catch on, or you're a snake. You thought this whole time, but you were willing to put your feelings aside to get ahead on YouTube because I have this platform. You're a snake, you're a clown, and you're a fool. I've watched you for weeks now continuously lie. Even when it came down to your docs and that tweet was sent out, someone tweeted you telling you Callie could not have anything to do with this because she's been on live stream for the past 20 minutes. And instead of saying, oh, well, okay, maybe she didn't have anything to do with this, but this is still wrong, you doubled down and went on live stream to say she had something to do with it. If Callie had something to do with it, if I had something to do with it, please prove it. You can't prove it because it never happened. We had nothing to do with your docs at all. Another thing that you sat on your public platform to thousands of people and lied about and said, I had a GoFundMe scam to go to Hawaii. I went and came back bigger. Let's address that GoFundMe.
Oh, Raven, that money's going to charity, okay? I don't create fake GoFundMes to lose weight in Hawaii and come back bigger. Stop talking to me like I'm Charlie Gold. I am almost 40 into success.
That GoFundMe that I had to go to Hawaii wasn't just a trip to go to Hawaii. That was in 2016. There were 2 videos on my platform that's now been taken down. It's been taken down long before I started to come back consistently on YouTube. The reason they had to be taken down is because of the language that I was using in them. There were certain things that I was saying that I was alluding to without thinking because I just was speaking. My friend caught on to what I was actually saying in that video. She contacted her brother who had just moved to Hawaii, who was actually married to my old coworker. She showed him the video. They both read in between the lines what I was alluding to. And I don't want to go into it, but what I was alluding to in those videos actually had to do with my thoughts in the darker side of obesity video. There's a lot I have not mentioned about my early time on YouTube, but the reason a lot of those videos are taken down is because even though I was putting on a front for the camera and I would speak, people who are close to me were reading in between the lines. Even though I was fighting, there was a part of me that knew I may not be able to fight this much longer. And that language came out in those videos. So when she went to her brother and she said, listen, if her weight has anything to do with this, is there anything you can help? They're personal trainers that had just launched their business in Hawaii. He contacted me. He told me he watched the video. He talked to his sister, and this is how he was able to offer his help to me. He wanted me to come out to Hawaii for a year because at the time he knew I was housebound. I wasn't working. He said, come out to Hawaii for a year. I will train you. You will spend your days with me, my wife, my staff. We will keep you busy. We will help you lose weight. We will get you on the other side of this. Even when he set that goal, I was doubtful. It was a huge goal. And he was very passionate about it. He believed in it. I didn't so much believe in it because I didn't see that much money being raised. And guess what? It wasn't. There was only about 600, maybe a little over 600 that was raised. The main person, and this is why I was so hesitant to address it, because then it would involve doxing my uncle. Out of that 600, 500 was donated by my uncle. And unfortunately, he attached his first and last name to it. That's one reason I didn't want to address this. Not only because I knew it wasn't true, but I didn't want to put him out there. The rest, the $5 donations, 20, 15, that was my friends and family. I know every single person that donated to that. Not only did we clearly not raise the money, I didn't even raise enough to fly out to Hawaii. So when I realized it wasn't moving, I told Shane, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. I reached out to my friends and family that donated because, again, it was only a few people. And I said, this is not going to move. I'm going to talk to Shane about you getting your money back. They simply said, shocker, because they're my friends and family, it's fine. As long as he hands you that money, we don't care. We just want you to live and fight. It's not that hard to understand. There was no scam. This was in 2016. My channel at the time probably had maybe 50 subscribers. And obviously it was mostly people I knew. It wasn't the channel I had today. So for the trolls that are saying, yeah, I had donated to that Hawaii. No, you didn't. This was in 2016. I know every single person who donated. So for the Gaining Ground to sit on his platform to thousands of people and say, I ran a GoFundMe scam. I thought you were a big boy that do big boy things.
So this is going to be short. I wanted this documented because I'm documenting things in case people can smell where this is going. Things are getting documented because I play big boy games. I don't play social media games. I play big boy games. Because while you have no character, I have one that I'm willing to fight for. And I'm going to fight for it, sweetheart. Oh, he's so manic. Yeah, you can use that as your defense. He's so manic. Look at all these receipts.
Then you would know this is false. You would know this is defamation. Now me, am I going to go off and sue someone over this stupid YouTube drama? No. But the great thing is, if for some reason I change my mind within the next 2 years, I have the option. Now, the Gaining Ground was talking a big game about legal, about courts. If you're going to deny any screenshots, anything that I presented in this video, I expect to be served. And while you're served, please collect the statements from my friends and family that support the statement that you made about my GoFundMe being a scam. Please collect the information about the claims that you had about myself or Callie being part of your docs. Collect that, because that'll be part of my countersuit. Do I have any intentions of taking him to court? No, it's YouTube drama. But do I have the option over the next 2 years based on the state of Florida? If for some reason his words financially impact me over the next 2 years, I do. This all started based on the notion that the language that I use, how vile and toxic that I am. That's not the case. The main creators who are behind what's happened over the last few weeks, they don't have a problem about what's being said and the words being used. They have a problem with who it's coming from. Because if they had a problem with the words being used, you would be calling out the Kate Winslet channel as well. They've used whale emojis. They've used pig emojis. They've used seahorse emojis. They've used a lot of different things multiple times. So if you felt so strongly about these words, about how they're being used against these women who are just trying hard to lose weight and get to the goals that the Gaining Ground has reached, you wouldn't have so much select outrage. You kept using that. Hypocrisy, select outrage. You have it too. Gaining Ground said on his live stream, he watches those channels. He knows what to take away from those channels.
Kiwi Farms. Kate Winslet. Citrine Dream. If you know them, you either love them or you hate them, or you're in the middle like me. I don't care. Hater Nation hates them. They hate Hater Nation. Who cares? I don't care. I watch some videos. I think they're funny. Does that mean I approve of every video they put out or everything they say? No. Just means I'm an adult who can process my own information.
That can be said for my viewers as well. They know what to take away from the videos. So you're smart enough to know what to take away from their videos, but my viewers aren't. For the last few weeks, the Gaining Ground has gone on a huge, drawn out temper tantrum. But during that time, I did hear you guys. Through all the mess, I was trying to figure out what comments were trolls, what comments were actually coming from supporters. A lot of comments that I read had to do with my tone and my approach and my reactions and how a lot of people felt that I've changed. When I first started with my reactions, I wasn't 100% myself yet. I was still trying to figure things out. That's why if you go back with certain creators, you see them start to become more comfortable. For me, becoming more comfortable meant I started to speak more freely. So if you feel my content has gotten more vile or more mean, I wish I could sit here and say to you, I plan to change the way I react. I'm seeing it for the first time. The first thing that comes to my mind, if it has any value, or if I think it has any value, or if I think it might be entertaining, I just say it. It's the same way I watch any other show. That's why I call them the desperate bedbound. I'm reacting to people who are just okay with making a mockery of their lives on YouTube. The only way I can think of changing my approach is I would have to watch the video first. And if I have to watch the video to get out my smart comments and then come react, I won't do it. I'm not saying everything that I say will be inspirational or entertaining or you might take something from it. However, it's my real reaction. And that's why I've always said I know I won't be for everyone. One piece of advice that I received, and I think it made me understand a few of you. When it came to my Pig Mad video, a lot of people got upset because they felt that they've been called that before. So when I called Chantel that, a lot of people felt that hurt. And when I found that out during these last few weeks, because I never got that specific feedback, it started to make sense to me why some people may not, granted they just may not like it altogether, but it started to speak to me differently. And I just want to say to anyone who views my channel, any subscriber, any supporter, if I am reacting to Chantel or Amberlynn or any other person, I'm reacting to the person on screen. I understand there's a lot of morbidly obese people who watch me, people of different sizes, but I'm reacting to the person on screen. I'm reacting to someone that I really don't have sympathy for, someone who's made a mockery of themselves for years. The way I would talk to or react to or interact or engage with a regular person who may have the similar struggles but not doing it the way that they would do it, it'd be completely different, which is part of the reason I wanted to start the series. The young lady has already been chosen. The only reason it's been pushed back is because of everything going on with the virus. What I'm hoping for when it comes to that series is showing a different side of myself. Because I had a tough conversation with a friend. She said part of the reason that it was so easy for a lot of people to believe the gaining ground is because you allow your pride to be in the way. You don't let these people see the other sides of you, the sides that I see or the sides that, my other friend sees, which is true. My pride plays a huge part in why I don't show other things on this channel. Even when it came down to smoking brushes. I've had videos filmed and then I deleted them. That's a constant thing. Because I will hear myself crying or I'll hear myself expressing myself too much, and being vulnerable makes me uncomfortable. The only person that I do not hold back from is my therapist. And I cry in just about every single therapy session. That's the only person I don't hold back from. But when it comes to my channel, when it comes to opening up, I'll have this idea and in my mind it sounds good, but when I sit down and I look over the footage, I see someone weak. That's what I connect to my emotions. Someone weak. And I don't want that on my channel, which is a problem I have to address. It's a problem that I need to fix. Even when it comes down to my weigh-ins, I actually had addressed it in the March 8th live stream. Oh, and for mods, don't delete anyone asking for a weigh-in. It's not offensive, it's fine. But I do want to address it. So as you guys know, when the whole mugshot thing came out, it said I was 310, which I'm not. I'm under 310. I'm under 300 altogether. But I want to address why I don't post my weigh-ins often. For anyone who's been around, it was a few months ago. I was on a live stream with a few friends, and I mentioned it that every time I'm on my period, I gain, like 1 to 2 pounds, which is normal for me. And then the following week, I'll lose like 3 to 4. So it takes it away. It's been my constant time and time again. But that particular time, it had nothing to do with my period. It was an actual gain. That was the first time in months I truly gained weight. So I cried about it. I, I was a little bitch. Looking back at it now, I was a little bitch, especially with what happened in December. 2 pound, I would have loved it being 2 pounds back in December. So the thing is with my weigh-ins, and more importantly, myself, let me be clear with myself. I always stick by the notion of it's your channel, it's your journey, you do what you want. As long as you're staying true to yourself and true to your audience, do what's best for you. I struggle sometimes. Like last month, to be clear, last month I only lost 8 pounds. And I beat myself the fuck up over the 8 pounds. When I saw Amber lose the 6 pounds, I was just like, how are you only losing 6 pounds? But then I'm like, girl, don't talk. You only lost 8. But then at the same time, I've lost over 100 at this point. So my weight is actually slowing down. Where I used to lose 4, 5 pounds a week, 3 pounds a week, I'm now still busting my butt in the gym and losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. 1 week I lost 2.5 pounds, and I was excited until I realized, like, girl, you still have all this weight to lose. And it's something that I deal with often. And it's something that I beat myself up about. But unlike, unfortunately, the people I talk about, I speak with a therapist about a lot. And one of the things I speak to them about is my YouTube channel. Like when I want to do certain things, when I want to do the weigh-ins, but I'm down about it, and then they're going to see it. And the conversation I had with my therapist, which, before I say that, I want to make something clear. Alan and Crystal Roberts actually gave me this advice from the beginning, but I was just like, yeah, like I was still in the mindset, like, but if you're talking about weight loss content, you need to put on weigh-ins. Like, that's what I thought too. So when people say it, I get why they're saying it, because I always thought that's what it was. And Alan and Crystal always said, you know, that's not what it is. A lot of people fail because they keep doing these weekly weigh-ins or constantly putting their weigh-ins on their channel. But in my mind, I'm thinking like a subscriber. I'm like, no, that's actually how it works. So when I was struggling privately, I was talking to my therapist about it. I'm like, oh my God, this week I lost just 1.5 pounds. There's going to be people who's going to say this, and that. And I'm already beating myself up. Like, how do I go about it? How should I address it? Because a lot of times I don't want to lash out. So that's why I have to speak to my therapist about it. And she's like, she said it. And then unfortunately, I think she just spoke to me differently. So, you know, Alan and Crystal said it first, just to be clear, over at Every Damn Day Fitness. So when I say Alan and Crystal Roberts, that's who I'm referring to. She said, who made the rule that you have to do weigh-ins? And I was just like, well, that's just how it works. And she was like, well, who made the rule? I was like, no one made the rule. And she was like, is it your channel or not? And I was like, yeah. She's like, you have to do what's best for you. And I was like, yeah, I know, that's what I'm doing. And she's like, then why are we having this conversation? And pretty much this is what it comes down to. This is what me and my therapist decided together. Weigh in at every victory point. So for a lot of people who don't know, privately, I have these how do I say it? It's these small goals. My next small goal, it's not small, by the way, because it's a crawl right now. It's a crawl. But my next goal is 250 pounds. So pretty much in my head, and what we discussed is you put yourself on camera weighing the weight that no matter if 1 million people commented you aren't good enough, you feel great about. And that's what we came to the conclusion of. So that's actually what I'm waiting for, to finally hit the 250 and show everyone. If people want to believe I haven't lost weight or believe I'm over 300 pounds, I've actually seen someone say I'm 400 pounds. I'm like, stop it. Stop it right now. You're trolling, truly trolling. And so when we were talking about it, I was like, all right, yeah, 250, I feel like there's nothing. And as much as people would want to drag me saying you took months to get there, I'd feel good about it, because the weight I am now is the smallest I've been in years. And 250 obviously will be the smallest I've been in years at that point as well. But I do struggle with the fact that there are weeks I'm only losing 1 pound, for real. And I bust my butt. And there's times I'm just like, this doesn't make sense. But I understand not everyone watches the live stream straight through. But I should have probably been more vocal about it in a different video, or maybe in the beginning of a different video. The main reason I didn't stick to my weigh-ins, even though Amberlynn did not acknowledge the challenge whatsoever, is because when my weight started to slow down, I started to panic. I always in my mind had the idea that if Amberlynn stuck to this, I'm going to lose. She didn't accept the challenge, so, I mean, kind of helped me a little bit. But if she had accepted the challenge, I would have lost. The problem I had, even though she didn't accept the challenge, is my weight started to slow down in a way that I did not recognize, in a way that I don't feel like matched the effort I was putting out. So off of camera, I was trying to figure out how to get the scale to move again in a bigger way. On camera, I think because I didn't address it a different way out of the live stream, it looked as though I was avoiding the weigh-ins, which I understand those opinions. I understand that people think I haven't lost weight. I have. I'm not 310 pounds. I'm not 300 pounds. But what I had decided I spoke about in that live stream. Unfortunately, not enough people saw it. Even though I plan to stick to what I talked about in that live stream moving forward, to put all that to rest, first week of July, I'll weigh in. I don't have a problem. For the people who think I'm 310 pounds, for the people who think I'm 350, or the people who think I've maintained, I haven't maintained 300 pounds. The problem is my wording. If I don't lose 10 or more pounds a month, I consider that a maintenance. That's not ragging on anyone else's weight loss. It's just what I consider. That's the language that I use. I've had months I only lost 5 pounds. I've had months I only lost 8 pounds. I have months that I've only lost 2 pounds. In the overall picture, did I maintain? No. But based on the goals I have for myself, yes, I maintained. But I'm not 300 pounds. I'm not 310. I'm under 300 pounds. So when I weigh in, a couple of weeks, first week of July? Yeah, it'll be a couple of weeks. It will show that. What I'll do moving forward, I'll figure out. Will I go this long without weighing in again? I think the answer should be no. The truth is my weight loss is slow. It's slowed down in a way that I just never imagined. It just slowed down. If I had known my weight was going to slow down that much, I wouldn't have thrown out the challenge. That would have been an embarrassing loss. I always intended in my mind, if she takes this seriously, it'll be cool, it'll be entertaining, and technically I will lose. I didn't think I'd lose by that margin because I didn't think that my weight would slow down that much, especially with the work that I was putting in. I've said it many times on my channel before, I just don't say it nowadays, but I still stick by this. I'm not better than the people I talk about. I've made a lot of the same mistakes they have when it comes to their health. It's just I make better decisions now, and I try and move forward the best that I can. Even down to me taking this break. You can learn anything from my channel, Amber Lynch channel. Be better than us. Do not become what we became. Yes, I'm taking the steps to change that and I'm moving in the right direction, but I still would never wish that on my enemy, to go to the places that I've been. There's a lot that I have not talked about on this channel. During that time when I wasn't walking and I couldn't stand, there's a lot that happened. That's why I say just be better than both of us. Do not become us. A lot of people want to paint it in a way that, oh, I'm getting weight loss surgery or I'm doing this. And I get it because I don't share a lot of my personal life. So, you know, the J.K. Rowling rejects are going to start making up stories. That's fine. But I actually do follow some of the advice that I give the people I talk about. You think they would take all this time off of YouTube to address their real life? No. And I tried to come back. And when I sat down to film a video, all I could do was cry because of my real life. And unfortunately, my real life will always matter before YouTube. Because if I can't take care of me off camera, what will happen is the person in front of you will eventually disappear. And that's not what I want. I want to live a good, healthy life in real life. And I had a lot going on in my personal life, and I wanted to take care of that. I understand a lot of people wanted me to respond. That's why I was being called a coward and all that. I was already gone 3 weeks prior to this starting. If you think I'm going to sit here, do my makeup for an hour, to turn on this camera, to edit, to do all these things, to respond to a snake, to respond to a clown, to respond to a liar, someone who is lying his ass off over the last few weeks, I'm not doing that. That's why I'm responding now, on my own time, and adding additional context to the conversation. I think it's important to know, support who you want to support. If you don't like my content, I understand. If you don't like my words or my harshness, I understand. That's fine. That's why I've always had that description box. So support who you want to support. If you want to wait until my weigh-in in a couple of weeks so you can kind of see what I've been saying, then do that as well. But I'm going to keep doing my content. I'm going to keep doing reactions. I have to figure out a way to put my pride aside for certain content. I'll figure it out. Am I gonna tell you what it is in this video? No. But for Shakar transformations, for that tweet specifically, I apologize. However, Shakar knows the real reason behind that tweet. Shakar knows that her messiness happens in comment sections, not in front of the camera. And that's what I was trying to point out, but it didn't matter. It got lost. The message got lost. But Shakar transformations is a lot messier than she allows her audience to see. I rather mess up in front of the camera. Just because I don't share certain things and I keep a lot of things private, it doesn't make me a liar. It makes me a private person. I can only react to what people put on the internet. People can only react or have an opinion to what I put on the internet. Unfortunately, by not putting certain things on the internet, it makes people speculate, which is fine too. It's something I'm going to have to deal with. So to my supporters, I do apologize for not addressing the lack of weigh-ins in a more upfront way. And I apologize for all the drama. However, I took my time to respond because my real life comes first. A 2-second like, tweet, or retweet on Twitter is very different from a sit-down video with equipment, lights, and editing. It's a very different process. So I just want to apologize again to you guys that this got so out of hand. Sitting here, I think what ended up happening is someone who just didn't get the attention that they felt that they deserved because they're so much better. They just didn't get it. And instead of admitting that's what it was, they went with the next best thing. What's the most popular, unpopular opinion about this creator, and I'm going to run with it. And that's what he did. To me, he's a snake. I think his content's still amazing. I don't watch, obviously I no longer watch his content, but his content is probably still going to be funny. However, I'm guessing now it'll be more uplifting because the whole idea that he's been this great person to these women is laughable. However, he's funny. He has great content, but he's a snake. And in a weird way, I'm actually grateful this happened. Did I lose a lot of support? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I needed this to happen. And I'll talk about it in a future video, but I'm still grateful to anyone who's still here. I'm still grateful to anyone who reached out. I'm grateful to anyone who even voiced their criticisms openly, because I had a lot of dialogue with supporters and creators. And I think this idea that I control this community or this community bows down to me. No, this community was here before me. I am someone who just has an opinion sitting in front of a camera. I'm not the queen of anything but this household. So as viewers, support who you want. If you're going to rush to my videos to leave your opinions, do that as well. Because one thing I do know is YouTube hates long breaks from YouTube, and I can use it as engagement. So knock yourselves out. Do what you have to do. Be there for that weigh-in. And again, to my supporters, I apologize. Maybe next time I'll learn to communicate a lot more clearly. However, when it comes to my content, I don't want to give any false promises. I think it's important to support who you want to support and take away from the videos what you want to take away. Some people don't come to my videos to be inspired. They come just to laugh. They come to be entertained. Shoot, sometimes they probably come to laugh at me. But it's YouTube. This went much further than it needed to go. And it's on him. It may go even further than that. But I'll enjoy it the whole time. Because this whole thing, at the end of it all, was really a joke by a clown who's a snake and who's pathetic. So just like your email, Gaining Ground, greetings. Greetings, goodbye, and good luck. Because when you do things like you've done these last few weeks, people will catch on. People are starting to catch on, but they'll really catch on. And again, don't deny these screenshots. They're real. It came to my email, came to my Instagrams. I took it myself. I have videos as well. And if you're going to deny anything that I put in this video, serve me, since you claim you know where I live. And I will happily wear my tent-size underwear to court and laugh along with the judge when a 40-year-old man sits and tells a judge that trolls online were trolling him, and this led to his life being ruined. It's going to be a good time. I'll even vlog it. And if you guys want some extra footage, you have some more time on your hands, you're still in quarantine, one of the people that unfortunately the Gaining Ground was conspiring with, now she's an interesting character, I will say that. I don't even think you really need to listen to the video, because the video itself was her defending herself, saying that she never asked the Gaining Ground to promote her channel or something like that. The important part of the video is the fact that she spent the video sharing the DMs between the Gaining Ground to try to prove that she didn't ask for this favor from the Gaining Ground. But what it revealed is even more obsession that the Gaining Ground has with me. There's 2, maybe 3 videos, I forgot. I'll link them below. Thank you so much for giving me the time, add some context, and also address some of the criticism. Is this the last drama I'll be in? Probably not. As long as that number is next to my name, it's always going to be someone to give an opinion about something. Even after my weigh-in, it's still going to be something. So I just got to get better on what I choose to respond to. I thought I did a decent job, which is why he kept calling me a coward, because I wouldn't engage. However, it still turned into me being the bad person, because everyone who was responding to him on Twitter out of all places, I sent them. It's not that they showed I sent them, they're just saying I sent them. And before I go, to any upcoming new content creators, have your opinions, do what you want, but don't do it because you see an opportunity. Don't do what he did. Even me, I have to figure out another way to interact with other content creators where this doesn't happen again. Because the truth is, I can't tell the true intent of people who reach out to me and want to collab. I definitely didn't see that happen with Gaining Ground. So for any new content creators, learn from me and learn from him. I'm eating crow looking stupid. He looks like a clown and a snake. Learn from the both of us. And remember, guys, be better today than you were yesterday, and greater tomorrow than you will be today. Later.